Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Camray and you're watching Camray Music TV, and I'm back with another Real Housewives of Atlanta review. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like this video, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all of the places, and make sure you comment your thoughts on this week's episode and this week's review. I'm just looking at my makeup because I did not touch it up before this video because I'm exhausted. I'm always exhausted. All right, so last week there wasn't an episode because the holidays. The week before that was the filler episode. I did not do a review. I realized the review got away from me. After I saw the episode, I was like, okay, with everything that I got going on, is it worth it to shoot this episode review, or should I just hold off and move on to the next one? Okay, because with the holiday, with all that, wrapping up the break, all that, it was too much. Okay, so anyway, so we're back with the girls, and we know that Cynthia is trying to plan this wedding in the middle of a pandemic, and a panoramic, and a pandulce, okay? We know that Kenya is dealing with this divorce still. Portia is, Portia Luther King. Candy's dealing with Riley going off to New York for college, always with the different business endeavors. Nene is not there and has a current petition going on, right? All this stuff against Andy is going on right now. And Drew is dealing with her man that we can't stand. And LaToya is baby Kenya. Okay, so everybody is, kind of playing a part. So Sin, Mal, and Kenya meet up for yoga because Cynthia is stressed, okay? Kenya is talking over her, yelling at her, but basically, kind of setting her straight, like, you are putting so much attention on this event, okay? The wedding. And when they're talking back and forth, Kenya's like, you're so hooked on having a production type of thing for the show. He wants to make sure that you're fully around for, or you want to get married for like the right reasons. And that even if you didn't have the venue or whatever it is, that 10-10-20 would still be you all's date, and you would get married in a sack, in a shack, whatever. And, Cynthia's a little offended. She's like, let's go ahead and break down the fourth wall and let's talk about it. Like, it don't have to be on no show. The show ain't paying me, and I find that hard to believe. I mean, I feel like if the show's not paying her, the show's definitely funding the wedding. They got some part in it, right? Because it's like content for the show. So maybe that has, a role to play in it. I don't know. But I think that Cynthia kind of needs to take a step back and realize, like, you both, Mike and yourself, have had marriages before, weddings before, and I understand that this one finally feels like it, and you want to, do all that, and you guys have all those daughters, and you want them all involved and stuff, but like, it's a pandemic, so like, what can you do? Like, you can do a variation of something still special. So I don't know, she's starting to like see it and come to terms with it, but we do know that they went ahead and did it anyway. I'm sure there was a lot of things that they did not have, but it seemed like they still had a lot of the things. Okay, so yeah, Kenya meets up with Candy because she wants to have a surprise bachelorette party for, I don't know if it's bachelorette party or like engagement party for Cynthia, because remember, she ruined it last season when she just popped up like, I think Mike might be proposing, or Mike might have a ring or something. And I don't know, to this day I still feel like Kenya knew exactly what she was doing, and because of her own angst, because of her own things going on in her life that she's just miserable about, she just had to, yeah, there's something on my face right here. She just had to rain on the parade. And, sometimes people like that, they don't even realize that they're raining on the parade. They're so used to people like ruining or raining on their things that it just becomes like second nature to do it to other people. So I really feel like that's what Kenya's whole thing is. I do feel like she cares about Cynthia, loves her genuinely, but I just don't know what happens when she just decides to just act up like that, right? So she's trying to get Candy, lets her know that she's going to be doing that. She's also throwing shade at Portia. Like, what did she get locked up for this time? Or basically, she's always locked up. And I seen that she was trending on Twitter. Now, some people did tell me that Kenya, like the actual country, was trending. And that's how she kind of got tied up in it. But it still was wrong because it's like, girl, what are you doing? Are you, like, raising any type of awareness? Are you an activist of some sort? Are you in the streets protesting? I mean, it's not to say that you're not doing anything just because we don't see it. It's like to ridicule and say all these things about Portia when she's out there. It's just annoying. And I mean, it's all the more reason why he wasn't invited to this thing that they were having, right? So we'll get to that in a minute. So Ralph and Drew, they're having their therapy session. You know, they're outside with these face shields, and I'm just like, y'all are killing me with these face shields, because doesn't the germs just go up, or under, or to the sides? Like, a mask covering your face, you know, that's like your face and nose, is not the same as a face shield that just is a, like, what? Does that just mean that the germs are just gonna go like this? They're not gonna, like, anyway, off topic. So they're out there talking, and the therapist asks, you know, Ralph, like, what are some of his goals? Well, ask Drew first, like, what are some of her goals for their marriage? She's talking about, you know, unconditional love for her son, who she had outside of their marriage, you know, before she met him. Transparency, and, you know, like, kind of, you know, some of the things that we all would say, right? And then when they ask Ralph, he says he wants respect and sex, and that's it. He didn't say nothing about communication. He didn't say nothing about love. He didn't say nothing about that. He just said respect and sex. And, you know, the way that he said it kind of just made me feel like if he feels disrespected, then the other is like, he should be able to get wherever he wants. Because he just, like, at least 3 times a week, like, sir, clearly y'all are doing that. You have 2 children together. And then the last child's pretty fresh. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm really trying not to, like, just dislike this girl's husband, because I understand that things, like, go in cycles, right? Marriages, relationships go in cycles. Like, he could just be having, like, an off time, and, like, just on camera he might come across as a certain way. Like, I'm giving a lot of leeway here, and it could just be those things, because I'm like, did he just say that? Like, she's crying, he's kind of like smirking and laughing, and so I don't know how long they're going to last. I don't know if they're going to last. I know that she was on Watch What Happens Live tonight, and she said that, you know, they were asking her pretty straightforward, direct questions about, you know, the current state of their marriage, and, you know, asking about, like, how these things went down, how she felt about them, like, are these things okay? Like, what do you think? And she was, like, dodging these questions, and just very, 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 like, sus. Like, avoiding the question, answering the questions with, like, things that didn't necessarily pertain to it. And it just was like, girl, like, around the bush we go. Okay, so I do think that she is trying to save face, because she, like she said, she was embarrassed. It was embarrassing. But I'm just hoping that Ralph is, like, seeing himself and really getting, like, a pulse for it. Maybe he's just not self-aware. I don't know. But anyway, they're talking. We kind of learn about Ralph. You know, he was in this single parent household. You know, he was saying stuff about his dad, though. But he was, like, I guess as a teenager, he was helping his mom out with the funds, and she wasn't showing appreciation, and he just was like, you know, if you can't apologize for the way that you've acted, then I'm going to leave. And when he left, she got evicted. So I just was like, so is that where this self-righteousness comes from? Because I feel like he just feels so, like, he has this aura that, like, he's God's gift to earth. And it's like, yeah, we acknowledge the things that you've done, and I'm sure your mother appreciates, and I'm sure, like, you know, you wouldn't be the man you were today without those struggles, without those things that you went through. But then at the same time, it's like, how do you just get to be like crazy, not crazy, just get to act like that just because, you know, of your past? So it's kind of the same thing that Drew was saying. Like, I should not have to, you know, deal with, well, maybe not deal with, but I should not have to be punished for the things that his mother did in the past. And she's like, you know, I'm not equipped. Like, it takes a lot of energy to get in that space. And I fully understood her. But at the same time, it's like everybody has to get in that space to accept people for what they come with. Everyone. So whether Drew realizes it or not, she has some things that comes with her, and then he has some things that comes with him. It's just about, you know, is your partner going to make that commitment to helping you through that, helping you heal from it, or, you know, accepting you as is? Are you going to make the commitment to heal from those things? Or are you always going to be not a victim, but are you always going to succumb to those things all the time? Right? Deep conversation. So I think that they're going to work on it. They're going to work through it. It's definitely a rough patch, but it's just kind of like, it's rough to have it on national TV because none of us like Ralph right now. He's just a lot every time he comes on this screen. Okay, so Lauren is throwing a surprise party for Portia. It just so happens to be her birthday. She has been in and out of jail. She's been protesting. She's dealing with all this stuff with Dennis. And so I thought it was really, really nice that they did this. Like, I found myself getting teary-eyed. You know, Tanya took her out to like a juice bar and met Marlo there. And, you know, it's real cute and real fun. And Lauren's calling different people to invite them, right? She calls Cynthia. She calls Candy. Candy's sitting there with Marlo and Toya, and I was like, why is Toya invited? Like, once I realized like they weren't going to invite Kenya, I was like, well, why is Toya invited? Because we don't even know Toya, you know, to be having her at the house in the backyard. Like, maybe Lauren just felt obligated and she knew for sure like Kenya and her have had bad dealings, so let's just not invite Kenya. I don't know. But anyway, so they're all going to come out to this like little get together for Portia. And yeah, so let me go back to Ralph real quick. So his dad has this heart attack, and we kind of get to see like a softer side. He's saying that he's, you know, he's realizing that every day is not promised, and he's thankful. He gives Drew a kiss, and I'm just like, okay, I really want to believe, because, you know, I'm not a quitter on relationships. So I feel like, you know, it could be just a cycle or just a phase that they're going through. And, you know, it's a house that they're dealing with. The cameras are there. You know, Drew's ankle was messed up. Like, different things, the pandemic, like different things are going on. Different dynamics contribute to how somebody might be. He might be fed up with the mom being there. It might be a number of things. So this moment with, you know, his dad having this heart attack, it was cool to like see him humanized, but I'm still kind of still watching because I'm like, oh, I think I already said this. Tanya picks up Portia, you know, they meet Marlo for juices and they're going to get ready to head out. You know, kind of keeping Portia distracted while Lauren is setting up the house. They have all these different pictures and images of like, you know, different people that we've lost because of police brutality, different activism that Portia has done. They got some food set up out there. She's having everyone dressed in black. Candy shows up with the Afro puffs. But I thought it was really, really cute because sometimes, you know, just like something small, just feeling seen feels good. That's what I want to say. Feeling seen feels good. I know that the reason why Portia is out there is not so that she can be seen. Because, you know, you can see it. It translates that it's just in her heart. It's something that's affected her. She wanted to get involved. She did. And, you know, none of us do, you know, activism or good deeds, hopefully, to be seen. So, you know, when you are seen, you do feel awkward because the spotlight is on you and you're standing up for people who have been wronged. So it's not really there's not really always a good outcome, right? So I could tell like she felt conflicted, like she wanted to be celebratory, but then it was like, I'm doing this because like in my heart, I really feel like I should do this. So just watching her just kind of made me emotional, because just to see her growth, like her from being this like kept wife with these like Southern morals, where she was like, she didn't want to go in the strip club, she didn't feel like her husband felt like she should be in there, you know, to her, you know, finding herself and getting her own place and getting that house and getting out there and working for Dish and doing all of the things and then trusting a man again. I mean, just her evolution. I've just really enjoyed watching her, because she's always seemed just like really pure, and that's why I like her. Okay, but let's get back to some of the grit. So Kenya is getting her makeup done, and she has a gift for Pilar, PJ, right? And Cynthia calls and says that she has bad news, and that she's actually uninvited. She's not gonna be able to go. Kenya's like, I know somebody paying for my hair and makeup. I know that. And I'm just like, okay, sis. But I thought it was interesting that Kenya could not see the mirror. I mean, it's so crazy how she did exactly what was the reason why Lauren uninvited her in the first place. So, you know, Lauren hit up Cynthia or text her and said, you know, she didn't feel like Candy should be there, just because, you know, this is like a real moment. This is not a moment for TV. This is like a real thing, right? With real people who make her feel, you know, type of way. And we want her to be surrounded by love. We don't want any shenanigans. And so maybe Kenya should just sit this one out. So I could see why Kenya was offended, but if Kenya like was self-aware, I could also see her being like, you know, okay, yeah, I do be cutting up sometimes. I'll just sit this one out. But for her to get as aggy as she was, to then turn around and call Candy, well, act like she did with the hair and makeup, then turn around and call Candy and be like, so, yeah, let the girls know about the surprise because I won't be there. And I'm just thinking, like, that's not even how you would have rolled it out anyway. Like how Candy ended up telling everybody, you know, wear white for this special thing next week. It was like, Cynthia knows exactly what it is now. You could have just texted everybody separately. Like, what was that? Anyway, so, I'm trying to think. Oh, so she's, you know, she's annoyed, irritated that she's not invited. And she was just like, you know, I've been to stuff before. I played it cute, been cool before. And Candy's like, Kenya, more hair care. You don't remember when you crashed Marlo's event? When you told about the doggone engagement? When you crashed Portia's event when we first met them? In that flashback, honey, I was like, oh, wow, we look completely different. I don't know why my chair is turned this way. What else? She's had so many things that it's just like, did you really come out your mouth and just say that? And then it was like she quickly turned. And just to see the shade that she throws in the previews where she's like, yeah, I would have given it to you personally. It's like, girl, that's exactly why you weren't there. And then Toya's shade towards Fallon, like, yeah, you look like you would be like you marry older men. I was like, you don't even know this woman. Toya is a lot, and it's not like a lot in a good way. Like, you know how Nene Leakes would sometimes be a lot, and it would be like just the a lot that you needed. Toya is like a lot, and she doesn't have the grounds yet. You don't even have a peach yet for all the a lot that you're giving. So yeah, it's a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Okay, so I skipped through a lot of things. I've been hearing lots of buzzings about this season, that it's not juicy enough. It's not, you know, going enough. But this is only episode 4, I believe. So, I mean, it's just kind of like, how juicy do you want it to get? How juicy are you aiming for? I don't know. I am ready for some other shows to come back. Watch What Happens Live was really flat tonight. I don't know if Andy's spirits are down because of what they saying about him. He has some pretty serious allegations going on. And some people are deciding to boycott the channel, the franchise. I don't know, child, but my phone is ringing. Anyway, Y'all let me know what you thought about this week's episode down below. I am going to get ready for work tomorrow because we back to work. Happy New Year, though. Did I already say that? Happy New Year! I'm Camray. It's Camray Music TV. I'm tired. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!